Hello everyone, Simus here and welcome back to Ark Survival Evolved. And I will also welcome you to the end, basically. This is the last episode of our very first season. Unfortunately, this is actually a bit of a reshoot. I did have my entire epilogue video recorded, and when I went to upload it, apparently it did not save correctly, so I'm redoing this whole video just for you guys. So, I put up our nice trophy here. I wasn't sure where else to put it, but I think it goes very well here. So, this is the skull of the mighty Alpha Rex that we vanquished in the last episode. Clearly it is not to scale, which is a bit unfortunate. But today we will basically be having a bit of a farewell party because after the end of this episode, I will be uploading one or two animals and then wiping the entire world off the face of the map to get ready for season number 2. So all of this is going to be gone pretty much by the time you see the video. So let's go ahead and take one last look at all of our animal friends and all of that fun stuff. But first, let us have a moment to remember all of the animals that we have lost in this playthrough. All of our animals that were killed in the Bronto incident of episode 8, was it? Man, that was a long time ago. And our Gallimimus, and our ape, and poor Yakul, who did not deserve the death he got, but such is the way of the Ark. So let us take a moment to remember them in front of our eternal flame here. They will be missed. They really will. Especially Yakul. So although we don't have the full set now, we did accomplish our goal of taming one of every herbivore currently available, starting with the little dodos, and our parasaur, and the Phiomia, and our Pachycephalosaurus, who you can finally see the colors on. That was really the reason why I tamed this specific one. Look at those colors. He's so pretty. And Azu the Dode, who helped us build our raft and is generally an all-around great mount, although you haven't seen much of that in this playthrough. And Hopper the grumpy-faced kangaroo, Dancer, who sadly has lost her mate, Buckaroo Beaver, who we never actually really tested the Smithy saddle out on, but what are you gonna do? I just didn't need him because we went really low tech with this season. And Thago, the mighty Stegosaurus, the only survivor of the Bronto incident. He has proven time and again that he is one tough herbivore, basically. I will miss him. He's a good mount. Good and solid. And our trike that we unfortunately never really named. I didn't name half of my animals because I'm really bad with names. and Spike, to whom we owe so very, very much for his vast utility and overall toughness. He got us out of quite a few dicey situations. And our Rhino, not the one that we lost, the one that we tamed after losing the first one, who sadly was tamed only to stay here for a little while and then going to the great obelisk in the sky, I guess you could say. And all of our turtles, the whole shell of them, I'm not sure what you call a group of turtles, but I'm going to call them a shell because I can. We would not be where we are right now without them, because they gave us all of the eggs for the kibble that enabled us to tame the Brontos, and we would not have succeeded without our Brontos. I'm sure we could have killed an Alpha Rex with something else, but if you're gonna be taming them anyways, why not get a Battle Bronto? And our lovely garden. I really only needed one plot of carrots, but that's okay. Oh look, it's a trap. I'm not picking that up. And one of the many wild Brontos who has made our life an exercise in irritation on this island. And our lovely, lovely lighthouse, complete with Storm Terra, which unfortunately I did fail to keep lit all of the time because campfires use fuel a lot faster than torches do. Something to keep in mind if you want to build a lighthouse. Definitely go with torches, so you don't have to constantly come back and light the campfire. You're ruining my scenery, Ms. Bronto. And there it is, our beautiful base. Once destroyed, then rebuilt, then modified, and expanded. And while we didn't develop this out nearly as much as I had thought we would, I am very happy with the results overall. I liked experimenting with different building styles from what I normally make, and also playing around with the snaps and the gates and all that to make all these different things, especially the lighthouse. And I really like the way the pen came out, even though obviously you wouldn't be using this in a situation where you would need your animals completely enclosed. I think it works very well for this location, and it does look good. Came out well. I'm glad that we were able to protect our animals the second time around, for the most part. Missing from the group are, of course, Yakul and our Gallimimus, who unfortunately did die 2 episodes ago. Off camera, actually, so it would have been a little bit longer than that. And our also alternative style fencing. A cage, as it were. But we never did finish the other side, but that's okay. Because I didn't really want this playthrough to run on for a super long period of time. There just wasn't much of a reason to continue staying after we accomplished our main objectives, and I just didn't want this to be one of those playthroughs that drags on for like 90 some odd episodes. So that is it. That is our entire base and all of the animals that are here. So let us go to our outpost, which honestly got a lot more use than I expected we would get out of it. If you're going to run a base here on Herbivore Island, I would highly suggest, if you want bigger animals, to definitely run with some sort of an outpost on that side. I'm not sure how feasible it would be to build a bridge due to how deep the water gets around here. I'm not sure if it's actually possible. So having an outpost when you want things like battle brontos is definitely a good idea. So that was home. And I do apologize if you hear that in the background. My stepfather is vacuuming at an insanely early hour of the morning for no reason whatsoever. Now we can come around to the outpost. An almost perfect dock for the first time in a while. And Shadow the Mammoth, who made most of our building possible, along with Sassy the Replacement Ape, who has also done a fine job collecting fiber for us, and Mr. Chef, who made all of our jerky for us, and has proven that paracers are definitely a little bit underappreciated, at least in my opinion. You don't often see people running with paracers. If you're gonna have a platform, most people have a Quetz. I think these guys are definitely worth it. And of course, the mightiest of the mighty, Gaia and Thunder, our battle brontos. Still fresh from the kill. Thunder is still regening his HP. Not even halfway. I don't think he'll actually be at full HP by the time this world is deleted. But I'm pretty sure I am going to upload him and probably Gaia as well, so they can possibly make a return in future playthroughs, depending on what we want to do. Most seasons are going to be challenge plays where I basically set down some different rules or guidelines for myself, and we try to play in accordance to that, just to see how the game balances doing these different things. So you can know for yourself, like, if you want to say only tame herbivores, you know that you can, and you won't be at a huge disadvantage. Right now, I would say the only disadvantage is that you cannot fight Gigas, but nobody can right now, so it's not that huge of a deal. Once the Titan comes out, this should be much easier to handle, so I wouldn't worry about it. The game will get balanced with every animal that gets added, so. And then at the end, they are going to rebalance all animals, so hopefully we can actually come back and revisit this challenge at some point with a full complement of herbivores, including the Titan, and maybe we'll even take on not just an Alpha Rex, but a Giganotosaurus, aka the Indominus Rex of Ark. Let's get a little bit of a look at the outpost here. I'm not entirely happy with the way this came out because I didn't plan it the way that I did the other buildings, so it ended up being kind of a hasty, not well thought out design, but it works for what I need it to, so that's all that you really need at the end of the day. And this thing over here, our little plant Xbox, I really wish that I had made this earlier, just for the peace of mind of not worrying about raptors and things. Not that I really worry about that sort of thing when you've got 2 Brontos, each capable of killing an Alpha Rex. Like, we definitely could have soloed the one that we killed, but just for the heck of it, let's check out this drop before we go. I know it's not going to have anything interesting in it, but you never know. Full set of leather. Sure, why not? Poor Thunder. I wish we had bandages and I could just wrap him up like a Bronto mummy until he feels better. I will say that soups do work on animals, but because I only have carrots, I can't actually make any soups. Well, that's not entirely true. I have carrots and berries, but most of them use at least one more advanced crop and whatnot. But since they can use soup, you could actually make the one that regens HP and give it to them, and they would heal faster. But since we don't have that, they're just gonna have to kind of go on their own. So as far as the season goes, I feel like I did learn a lot, especially about a lot of the mid-ranked herbivores, specifically the ones that were released after the game originally came out. Because I've been playing this game since it came out in June. Like, I wasn't on the first day, but definitely within the first few weeks I had started playing. And the biggest thing is that because I did reach a high level very early and I didn't really move servers, I ended up overlooking a lot of the mid-tier animals that you get between like first starting out and hitting the end game stage, simply because I was already at the end game stage by the time those animals were introduced. So things like, especially Yakul, I had no idea elk were as strong as they are, and I will definitely be appreciating them more in the future. And also, even animals like Parasaurs, when you already have a Bronto, like, you don't have that much reason to have a Parasaur. So starting from scratch and actually going through and needing these animals has taught me quite a bit about them, and I kind of wish that I would do the same thing for carnivores. My only thing with that is that it would be impossible to build anything substantial because you can't harvest anything with carnivores. You get meat and hide, and that's basically it. So I'm not sure how well that would pan out. Herbivores is doable because they are all utility animals and do have a good mix of combat mounts. So in that way, I do feel herbivores in general are actually balanced better than carnivores. Carnivores are basically single utility animals. Their only job is to kill stuff. And these days, there's a lot more to the game than killing, regardless of what PvP people might think. I'm just kidding. I know some of you guys aren't like that. And as far as other stuff goes, I do kind of regret some of the things that I've cut out from recording, but at the same time, I didn't want it to spend like half the videos doing things that you've already seen. So hopefully in the next season I'll have a better balance. To be honest, the next season might be kind of an uncut playthrough simply because of the concept that I want to run with. So I'm definitely going to think about that. But for right now, we are taking a break from Ark after the end of this video. Uh, I've been playing this game almost every single day since June 2015. And to be honest, I really enjoy the game, obviously, or I wouldn't still play it. But I feel like I do want a bit of a break just to play something else, because I haven't had a chance to really play anything in a while. I do already have the next game lined up. I actually already started recording for it. recordings will start tomorrow, which is Monday, and I am going to PAX in 2 weeks. So my plan is we're gonna try to um, do the next game for the next 2 weeks, and after I get back from PAX, that's when we'll start working on the next arc season. It will be most likely based in the north, so it's definitely going to have a whole new set of challenges. It's definitely going to be more difficult in the beginning. I haven't really decided entirely on wind conditions and things like that, so there's a lot to plan out. I also do want to make it kind of more RP based than this. I mean, we had the backstory for our character, Terra, but we didn't really do anything with it. Part of that is the limitations of the game itself, where you can't have NPCs in the game right now, and I feel like that would definitely have added a lot to it if we could possibly build kind of our own stories into this, uh, especially in solo play. If you could kind of have your NPCs or whatnot, and you can role play a little bit more, but I am aware that that's probably not going to be possible. So we kind of have to go with what we've got. I guess if I was playing on a server and I had people to cooperate and actually play these other roles, that would be very interesting. It is an idea. I do have an invitation to a streamers only PvP server. I won't run the next season there, but I am thinking that we will definitely be doing something with that in the future, because I do think it's a fantastic idea and I would really like to participate. I just already had the idea for this other season long before I got that invitation, and as I've said in a previous episode, one of the things I do want to do is kind of test the boundaries of the game and see what we can learn from it. Learning different things about the mechanics and the game balance and all that sort of thing. Like, I would never have come up with the idea for walking the Brontos in episode, it wasn't 26, was it? Anyway, the one where I was kind of walking the Brontos by standing on them and calling attack. I actually picked that up from Survival of the Fittest. So applying strategies from different parts of the game into other parts of the game are definitely something I want to continue with, because I think it will make um, playing the game itself overall a lot stronger for everyone if we can figure out how to apply these different things and all that sort of stuff. But anyways, I'm not going to keep you guys for too long. Um, I hope you enjoyed seeing all of our animals and the base and everything one last time, and I really feel bad about that Blood on Thunder. But for now, if you have any comments about this season in general, things that you've learned, things that you liked seeing, things you would have liked to see, anything like that, please feel free to drop a line in the comments and I will check it out. And I will see you all for our new playthrough starting tomorrow. It is not a game anything like Ark. It is going to be, it's basically a kind of obscure Japanese RPG slash sim game. So it's definitely not in the normal territory of what this channel's been so far. But I hope you'll check it out. Anyways, you do get to hear my fantastically terrible attempt at voice acting. So that you have that to look forward to. But anyways, thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed watching the season as much as I enjoyed playing it, all things considered. And thank you all for joining me. I think I already said that. I'm sorry, I need more coffee right now. I hadn't expected to record this twice. I already had everything that I wanted to say said, and now I can't remember what any of it was. But anyways, um, so I will be saying our final farewells to our animals here and uploading. I'm only gonna upload, I think, a couple of them. So you might actually get a surprise on who you see in the future in um, perhaps a cameo somewhere along the line. But for now, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all in the next playthrough.